अस्सलाम वालेकुम। इस कोर्स में हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोडक्ट्स की और सॉफ्टवेयर के प्रोसेस की क्वालिटी को इम्प्रूव किया जाए so that our customers are happy, so that when we deliver software products to them, we deliver them within the budget and within the agreed upon time frame. This is very important. And also that the functionality that was promised at the beginning of the project is actually included in the product. And in some cases, it may contain additional features or additional functionality which may help the development team or development organization to get future business or future projects from the customer. So the importance of software quality can also be related to and tied to the fact that software is delivered on time. If you look at the industry, if you look at the surveys and analyze the surveys, you would notice that companies are missing their shipping deadlines for software products. Overall, 90% of all software engineers have missed shipment deadline. That is, 9 out of 10 people in our industry have been part of a project which was delivered late. But the alarming figure is that 67% of developers routinely miss shipment deadlines. And this is not a pretty picture. We must, as an industry, employ every technique, every concept that helps us in meeting the scheduled shipment deadline. In this course, we have been learning different techniques which will enable us to do that. We talked about software inspections, we talked about different kinds of reviews, and we talked about different software quality assurance mechanisms throughout this course that can help us in achieving these two goals, that is, keeping the costs low and finishing our work within the allocated time. Today we are going to discuss another topic that will help us achieve these two goals. As I said, that today software managers and developers are being asked to turn around their products within ever-shrinking schedules and minimal resources, both with respect to time to manpower. Getting a product as early to the marketplace as possible could mean a difference for the life or death of a product. And since software organizations are earning their livelihood through selling these software products, the life and death, or survival or death, or survival or extinction of software companies actually depends on this, that they bring their products to the market as early as possible, but those products which have high software quality. So in an attempt to do more with less, organizations want to test their software adequately, but within the minimal schedule and budgetary constraints. This is forcing us as an industry to adopt automated software testing. So what is automated software testing? The management and performance of test activities to include the development and execution of test scripts so as to verify test requirements using an automated test tool is known as automated testing. Today, we are going to talk about an introduction of automated software testing. We will see what the benefits of automated software testing are, and we will also discuss the selection criteria for test tools that can be included or in our activities for software testing. Automated software testing addresses the challenges for today's software professionals who are faced with real schedule deadlines. This concept helps us in reducing the schedules for different testing activities, and it also helps us in using minimal resources, because a lot of work that testing professionals would have to do if manual testing is conducted, that amount of work is then shifted to computer software which performs it in a much faster way and using minimal resources. The automation of test activities provides its greatest value in instances where test scripts are repeated or where test script subroutines are created and then invoked repeatedly by a number of test scripts. This means that the advantages or the benefits of automated test scripts come or play in the same fashion as the benefits of automating different tasks or processes. By the help of automation, manual processing is done by computers. The same way, we are actually automating our own professional activities. So instead of, let's say, automating financial processes, we are automating software test processes. And so a lot of repetitive tasks and labor-intensive tasks can be replaced by test scripts which can be executed repeatedly and any time of the day. The performance of integration tests using an automated tool for subsequent incremental software builds provide great value. This is because that the integration is a very repetitive test, a repetitive set of activities. We have to perform regression testing. We have to, whenever we do new integration. So the steps in integration are repetitive in nature. Each new build brings a considerable number of new tests, but also reuses previously developed test scripts. And this process continues until such time that all units are integrated into one large software product. And so a lot of benefit can be achieved by automating the integration process. The testing that goes on at the integration time can be automated, and we can benefit both in terms of schedule and in terms of minimal use of resources. Similarly, regression testing at the system test level represents another example of the efficient use of automated testing. Regression tests seek to verify that the functions provided by the modified system or software product perform as specified and that no unintended change has occurred in the operation of the system or the software product. And so this also is a very repetitive task in nature. There is a lot of labor-intensive activity in regression testing, and that can be automated with the help of these test tools. Automated testing can provide several benefits when implemented correctly, and it follows a rigorous process. The test engineer must evaluate whether the potential benefits fit the required improvement criteria and whether the pursuit of automated testing on a project is still a logical fit given the organizational needs. In other words, automated testing may not be necessary in certain situations. But we see as our industry progresses towards better management, towards better technique, both on technical and on managerial side, the use of automated software tools is increasing. And the number of tools available in the market are also increasing. So if we want to list the benefits of automated testing, we can say that automated testing results in the production of a reliable system. We can also say that automated testing improves the quality of the test effort, and automated testing results in the reduction of test effort and minimization of the schedule. And these were the last point were the opening statement of this lecture today, that we want to minimize the schedule and we want to reduce the effort, especially the manual effort that goes into software testing. Let's have a little bit of discussion on each of these main important benefits of automated software testing. The first was the production of a reliable system. When we talk about production of a reliable system, there are certain sub-factors in this. And they are, number one, improved performance testing. Automated software testing certainly improves the performance testing activity. You know that if we are conducting performance testing, we have to measure the time. We have to look at the response time of the software product or the software system. For very small times, it is usually very difficult to gauge that, to record that manually. We would need stopwatches to record the response time and the performance characteristics of a software product. If we automate this performance testing activity, we do not have to do it manually, and the system performance will be recorded in the minutest possible time scale. And as a result, we will get an accurate indication of the performance of the software system. So certainly, when we apply automated software testing in performance testing, it clearly shows the improvement. So is the case with load or stress testing. Both stress testing and performance testing are related. And automated or computer-based monitoring of load and stress testing are going to produce and record better results as compared to manually performing load or stress testing. So certainly we see an improvement there. Then we have quality measurements and test optimization. This is also an area where we can certainly notice the improvement if we apply software, automated software testing. There's another interesting benefit that is achieved by automated software testing, and that is the improved partnership with the development team. You see that when we are talking about automated software testing, we are talking about developing software to test software. And so the task of testers would be similar to the responsibilities of programmers or development team, because both are now developing software, although of different kinds. Development teams or programmers are developing software to build a product, and testers are developing software that is going to test the product developed by programmers. But they are both developing software, and so they can have a better working relationship and improved partnership. And as a result, we will have an improved system development lifecycle. Tools will be employed at all possible in all possible activities, that is in requirements modeling, in designing, in development, and in testing. And overall, the benefit would be that we can have integrated tools, we can have significant reduction in schedules and minimal use of human resources, scarce, expensive human resources in different activities of software development lifecycle. The second important and major benefit that we talked about was improved quality of the test effort. Under this major benefit, we have some subheadings or sub-benefits that include improved build verification testing, which means that whenever a build is created by adding new units and new modules in the build, that build can be immediately tested for errors. This does not mean regression testing. This means that whether the build actually works, that have the new components integrated with the existing components properly. And so the build verification process can be automated. And certainly this can have a marked improvement in the time using automated software testing. Then we have improved regression testing. We have talked about this a little bit earlier. Then we have an improvement in multi-platform compatibility testing. If a software project has to operate on different hardware platforms, so similar tests would need to be conducted on different hardwares. And if we automate this process, then certainly we can get a substantial improvement in quality of the test effort. So is the case with software compatibility testing, that is software compatibility testing can be automated and much better results can be obtained comparing to manually performing this activity. Then there are certain mundane tests which need to be executed on all softwares, and these tests can certainly improve if they are performed by the computer themselves, that is, with the help of test tools. These are tests which require little intervention by human personnel, but they have to be performed, and they are usually large in number. What happens is that if you apply automated software testing on your projects, then a lot of these mundane activities, lot of these repetitive activities are taken care of by the software tools. And the intelligent human resources who are experts in software testing can focus on advanced test issues, which they otherwise don't get opportunity because they are so busy performing manual software testing. And so this is another benefit, that all those things which can be automated will be automated, and software professional tests, especially software test professionals, will be available to address the advanced test issues that are applicable to that particular domain. There may be certain domain-specific issues that need to be addressed. And there are certain tests which are so complex and so large that manually it is not possible to execute them efficiently. But computers can do that. That involves generation of a lot of data and processing of that data to conduct a software test. And if that process is automated, then certainly those tests can also be executed, which were previously not possible. In many situations, the software testers are not able to reproduce software defects. And with the help of test scripts, with the help of automated software testing, we can reproduce software defects, because many times the defects are introduced because of the usage of the software. And as when we were talking about characteristics of bugs in the debugging lecture, we emphasized on that point also. And so the ability to reproduce software defects using automated software testing is much more organized and easily performed than manually conducting software testing. Automating the software testing also enables the documentation of business knowledge, which was previously contained or possessed by the testing expert. Now, when we use automated software testing, that business knowledge would have to be transferred into test scripts, which are then used for software testing. And so this is an ancillary benefit, that the business knowledge gets transferred from an individual into a database. And another very good advantage, very good benefit, is that computer programs don't have to leave after a day's work. They can stay in the office and continue to process software testing. That is, you can start software testing at the end of the day, and you can run tests all night long or all day long as you wish. So you can have after-hour testing also. The third main advantage or benefit that we talked about was reduction of test effort and minimization of schedule. It has certain characteristics, and these characteristics relate to test plan development, test procedure development, test execution, test result analysis, error status or correction monitoring, and report creation. And we need to monitor each one of these steps to actually gain an understanding in if any reduction of test effort happens, or if there is minimization or increase of schedule. There is a report in literature which you have access to in your notes, which captures the manual versus automated testing. Now I'm going to show you two slides. In the first picture, on the first chart, you have test steps on the left and hours recording for each activity, when manual testing was performed, when automated testing was performed, and percentage of improvement. So you notice that for test plan development, 32 manual hours were spent, and while doing the same activity with the help of tools, 40 hours were spent. And the percentage improvement is minus 25%. So it actually took longer to develop a test plan with the help of test tools. Then we have test procedure development. Time spent on manual activity was 262. With the help of automated tools, it was 117. So the improvement was 55%. For test execution, the manual testing hours took 466, and for automated testing it took only 23 hours. And the improvement percentage-wise is 95%. Then test result analysis is 117 hours compared to 58 hours for automated testing, and the improvement is 50%. Now I'm going to move to the next chart, where you have error status or correction monitoring, and it took 117 hours to perform that manually. It took 23 hours to perform that using tools. So the improvement of 80%. In error and report creation, it took 96 hours to do that manually, and with the help of tools, it took 16 hours with the improvement of 83%. If you look at the entirety, that is the total duration, if the project was performed using no tools and manually, it took 1,090 hours. Compare that with 277 hours with the help of software tools, and the overall percentage improvement of 75%. These numbers shall convince you of importance of automated software testing. So the numbers that you have seen should convince all those who do not want to switch over or utilize software tools for testing. And as I said, that the importance of software tools is actually encouraging organizations to use software tools increasingly in their work. Now, before you get too much excited about using software tools, let me just highlight some false expectations for automated testing also. Automated testing is not going to solve all your problems of quality assurance in testing. So some of the false expectations are that automated test plans will be completely generated for you, that a test tool solves all the problems. One test tool is not going to help you in all areas. You will not see immediate test effort reduction because there is learning curve for all tools, and similarly you will not see immediate schedule reduction also, because you will have to learn the tool and become familiar with it before you would start seeing the schedule reduction that has been reported. Similarly, not all tools are easy to use. There is a learning curve associated with any software product. Universal application of test automation is not possible. You have to do certain things manually, and business logic, these tools are not cannot contain domain information. That still has to be provided by the testers, and you will not be able to get 100% coverage in using these tools. But there are advantages, and that's why companies and software organizations are increasingly using software tools to perform testing. And there are software development approaches that encourage the use of automated software tools within their software development processes. As you know that with the popularity of rapid application development, the automated software testing has also become very popular, especially with the increase in projects using Agile Manifesto. Automated software testing is also being applied increasingly in different projects. One of the characteristics of Agile software development is that it includes automated software testing as an important practice in their software development philosophies. So as organizations and as project teams start using Agile software development approaches, they also have to use software testing tools as part of that manifesto. So using automated software testing or using test tools is a modus operandi for projects which are following the Agile Manifesto. So this is an area, that is automated software testing is an area which is open for more research, and certainly productivity and efficiency of software testing can increase substantially with the help of these test tools. So let us talk about automated test tools. They usually support automated execution of black box testing. And automated test tools reads a test script, plays the script, and compare the results with the original or expected results. That way it can determine if the software behaved in the manner that it should have. They enable repeatability and consistency of test execution as well as productivity, and these are the three characteristics that we have been talking about in this lecture. Some tool suites also provide the ability to distribute or simulate execution of tests over multiple processors, thus providing performance and stress tests to measure the system's ability to handle high volumes of transactions and users. These are two things that we talked about earlier, that we can get a lot of benefit by automating the performance testing and stress testing in those projects where this is an important characteristic. Let's talk a little bit about the evaluation criteria for test tools. There are 4 aspects of evaluation criteria that you should use when selecting a test tool. Number 1 is compatibility. Number 2, usability. Number 3 is maintainability. And number 4 is manageability. Let's talk about each one of these characteristics. Compatibility means, does the tool support the platforms and environments of the system under test? This is obviously the first and the foremost question. Very important question. Is the tool compatible with the environment, with the hardware that we are going to use for our software product? And it also has 4 further compatibility issues. Number 1, client level compatibility. Does it have, that is the tool, is it compatible with the clients? Communication level compatibility. Then we have host level compatibility. And then we have portability. So we need to ask questions to get satisfactory answers for these 4 sub-aspects of compatibility. Let us now talk about usability. Does it have, that is, the tool provide the necessary functionality, and are testers able to make effective use of it without a prohibitive learning curve? As I had said before, that every tool has a learning curve. But does this tool has a prohibitive learning curve? And also, does it provide the necessary testing functionality that we are looking for? So, under usability, there are 3 important areas that need to be investigated. 1 is functionality, 2 is extensibility, and 3 is the learning curve of the test tool. The third characteristic that should be used in the evaluation of a test tool is maintainability. Can changes to the system under test be accommodated in the automated tests without undue effort? And so any selection of a tool should consider this as an important criteria. Then we have manageability, which means, or which requires us to ask a question that does the tool provide sufficient and meaningful information to enable management of the test library and measurement of the test results. We need to address 2 sub-areas in this. One is test library management, and second is measurement of the ability to measure test results. Test results should be meaningful to inform management of the status of the system under test and its quality relative to expectations. Test tools should be reviewed to determine the amount and quality of test result information. Analysis and reporting capabilities are either included or can be made available by the vendor who is developing the test tool. So as an organization, as a software development organization, we need to make an assessment about the selection of a software test tool based on the criteria that we have discussed. Test tools should also have the capacity to generate test cases, because the programmatic creation of test case data, as opposed to sampling or other manual techniques, it is easier to generate high volumes of test conditions. On the other side, the negative aspect of generating test cases using tools is that volume alone is not a guarantor of coverage or efficacy. And so any tool that you select should have the capacity to generate test cases based on the information and the input provided by the test analyst. It should be based on the concepts that we have discussed before. For example, equivalence classes. When we have equivalence classes, there are a large number of test cases and more than one test case that exercise the same path, or there can be too few test cases to cover all paths. And those problems can be addressed if the tools take input from the intelligent input from the test analysts. Let us now talk a little bit about vendor selection, because software tools are developed by vendors and there are certain characteristics of vendors also. The first of them is experience. So the question that you need to ask is, what level of experience does the vendor offer in the implementation of automated test tools? The service. What services does the vendor offer for training as well as implementation to assure that the tool is properly deployed? This is very important because test tools are not general software. They are a highly specialized form of software which are only used by the software development organizations. What support is provided by the vendor? How readily available and responsive is the vendor to technical questions and issues? And you need to contact different customers of the vendor to assess that, and or to look at the contract that they are offering. And what commitment does the vendor have? Is the vendor committed to the automated test tools market, or it is just one of the several offerings available in the market? Does the vendor specialize in automated software testing? So these were the criteria for selecting a vendor. What we have done today in this lecture is that we have introduced a very important and often ignored area of software testing, and that is using software to test software. Since the beginning of our industry, humans have been employed to use to find defects in and to execute software testing activities. But like every area, there is improvement, there is need for improvement, and software testing is no stranger to this. As a matter of fact, software engineering is no stranger to it. Innovation and creation of new tools that help software engineers to perform their tasks with efficiency, with higher productivity, are always being created. And like the tools and requirements, like software tools and design, software development, integrated environments in programming, researchers and practitioners have developed tools that help us in improving the efficiency and productivity of the software testing activity. And so a lot of software tools have been developed and continue to be developed in which automate the software testing activity. And today we had a brief introduction of what software testing is all about, and we had talked about the evaluation criteria for selecting these test tools. And we also described the vendor selection criteria. The idea is that we should perform software testing in such a way that it increases our productivity, it reduces the effort and testing, it reduces the schedule, and it uses minimal resources. Overall, these efforts help us in achieving the ultimate goal of high quality software. In the next lecture, we will take up another topic. So till then, I take leave of you. Allah Hafiz.